Hello everyone, and welcome back, Dungeons & Dragons the Second Age. How are we doing?
So good.
I'm still ill.
I'm doing fabulous, because it's my birthday.
Oh my god!
Happy birthday to
That's
you.
fucking
My birthday.
Let's
birthday.
let's not do that.
Oh no.
We don't have time for that.
And if you're gonna do it, at least do it in Dutch.
Ain't nobody got time
It's
for
my
that.
favorite.
boy.
So,
I'm pretty sure Minnie's the only one who could actually sing in Dutch here.
Probably, yeah.
before we
you,
get
you could all sneeze, and I'd count it as correct.
yeah, before we get started, who wants to remind me of what happened last time? Nobody? Good. Right, moving on.
No, wait,
Okay.
I'm actually fixing my music because I think I can hear something, but I cannot hear.
Oh
something.
yeah, this track
It's
is very.
fucking quiet.
The track is very quiet.
Sorry. What did we do last time? We finished up, or rather, didn't really finish up the house that we were in, the keep.
Yes.
We did the end of the fight that completely annihilated us. We finished that up, and then we were just like, "Fuck the rest of this, we're out of here."
Yeah.
But we did still free. What's his dick? Milson.
Milson, yes.
Wilson.
Wow.
Yes.
Rude.
You freed Milson
I
from
learned that face
his.
from Luka. So if anyone, blame.
Yep, that's true.
I'm not surprised.
So we saved that guy from eternal paintingness.
Servitude.
Yes.
Servitude. Probably would be the
No, I think we should go with the eternal painting this.
best.
Which is probably
And then-
kind, considering you murdered his master and would have just left him to live there forever until all of the paintings decayed. But yeah,
I mean, his master enslaved him.
yes.
Yeah, but it would have been an eternally boring life.
Yeah, he would have been
Having
alone.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
No, but I know,
Like
but
eternal
Rob
loneliness.
phrased it as like, oh, you killed this guy as like BFF forever. But, like in reality, guy was a dick.
He was a dick. Anyway, we left that place. Did some
Mhm.
traveling, I think. Oh, we had a
Yes.
moment because all of us failed our saves again.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. You'd think that with the +2 from Kelariis, we'd be fine sometimes. but no.
LOL.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
I rolled
yes.
2 natural ones in a row.
Your inability to roll anything above 10 doomed you to failing some checks.
Yes. And then we magically stumbled upon this like oriental tavern kind of thing
hmm
ish.
The House of
And we
Black
had a-
Lanterns.
We had a nice bath.
The question is, did you stumble upon the House of Black Lanterns, or did the House of Black Lanterns stumble upon you?
Ooh.
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
We're blowing your mind.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah, and we had a nice bath. We talked to this lady who was cool, mysterious,
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
Who Jayla apparently she knows who the fuck that is. I
It's-
don't.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly regular lady. She's just a bit
Perfectly
weird.
regular lady, and
She's
she
just a random woman.
She's
She-
normal.
Significant about
she
her.
implied some
Yeah,
magical
totally
things, and I
normal.
didn't think I ever actually sent that drawing that I made to anyone except Ferrous.
No.
So sucks to be everyone else.
Wow.
Sorry.
Can't believe you hate us.
I do.
I mean, she's not wrong.
And I think that was kind of the end.
Yes. Yeah, you had a cry at one point.
Standard.
Oh yeah, you did. You had a long cry, and then I just sat next to you
Good.
awkwardly.
I
Yep.
had a dwarf moment.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Or I got a dwarven stout at a third of the price.
Yes, you did.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Ah.
And I met that guy who liked my
You're
what's
woed.
it called?
Yeah.
Nice woed.
Yes.
Nice woad, bro.
Also, do we have new
Bro.
patch notes?
Whoa,
We do have new patch notes. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's good that Tarquin is now correctly returning to the Lady Legends.
Sure, that's a reference. I don't
That
know.
is a reference that nobody except Helena and myself will get,
Yeah, more Divinity references probably.
and a Dwarf Fortress reference,
Which nobody gets.
which nobody
Which
gets.
no one gets.
Oh, does that mean we can
So
tick off the
tick
bingo
your
card
bingo
straight away?
card.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks, Ferrous.
Because nobody fucking knows what that is.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah, I think that's
So,
summary done.
yes, I think we are going to have a minor retcon from where we ended the end of last session, because from what I gather is you guys actually have some questions for Yarol before you want to go to sleep. Is that correct?
Yeah, mostly as to who that lady was.
Yeah. So we will retcon you guys going to sleep just yet, and I will take you back to where you were in the tavern, sat around the dining table, having a conversation with Yarol, who has basically just asked you if you want to participate in the pleasures of the Red Room, which you have all politely declined.
No
Oh,
freaky
yeah.
sex today.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing he offers, but
Also,
No
how do you know it would
freaky
be freaky?
anything.
How do you know it would have been freaky? It could have been perfectly normal.
Mm,
There's no such thing as normal sex.
he can cater to your any whim within reason.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think Fee's probably just gonna step up and ask who the lady with the raven feather cloak thingy was.
Yes. The lady with the raven feather cloak. As you mention the raven-cloaked woman, you see like sort of a small smirk pass over Yarol's face. And he sort of smiles and says, "Ah, I see you've encountered our esteemed guest, then."
Yes.
Sure.
Is she here often? A lot?
He nods and says, she takes a particular interest in our, well, my activities. Ever since I came into ownership of the House of Black Lanterns, she's had a particular, shall we say, investment in my activities. It's mutually beneficial to a certain point, but and he conspiratorially sort of like lowers his voice and says, "I do feel like she likes to keep an eye on me."
Okay.
But yes, no, forgive me, to answer your question, the truth is, I'm afraid I don't know.
Not even her name?
I'm afraid that is the most closely guarded secret she has. Some say that she's forsaken her true name when she came here to the Shadowfell. All I know is of the rumours that surround her, that she used to be a mighty sorcerer queen, and that she has a domain somewhere in the mountains of Levithyl.
Interesting.
I was gonna make a joke about like all we know is that she's called the Stig, but
All we know is that's my line.
um
And on that bombshell.
oh God.
But yes, Yarol says other than mystery and the banter of patrons, I'm afraid I don't know very much about her. They seem to have some form of business arrangement, and you get the feeling that she doesn't quite trust him. But any more than that is a mystery.
Okay.
Mm. hurt.
I know a crew of a certain group of humans and their dog who would be very good at solving this for us.
I doubt it.
The mystery machine.
Dooby dooby doo.
Oh, right.
Anyway,
Obscure ass references.
I believe you have one more question that you wanted to ask.
Me?
The group. About a peculiar number of people that you've been encountering who look slightly different to what you might expect.
Oh, the people with the black eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. He's just gonna be like, yeah. Also, what's up with the people having sort of dark and blackened eyes?
He smiles and says, that is a question I can answer, quite simply. Those you see with the dark eyes are known as Shadar Kai. Mythology has it that they were once humans or some descendant of early humans, brought here to the Shadowfell under essentially a curse that prevents their souls from wandering too far from the plane of the dead. Other than sort of like the mythology behind them, they seem to just they're mainly just general denizens of the Shadowfell, as and he sort of like indicates you guys as he says as much as you are of the material plane. And he sort of says they have a particular love for food and drink and mortal pleasures, as any mortal does. So they make generally good patrons. And the fact that they rarely leave the Shadowfell means that I know exactly where to go to find them.
Interesting.
He does seem to get a conspiratorial look for a moment before he sort of leans in and says, not all of the Shadow Kai are quite as accommodating as many of my patrons. There are some around here who dislike what they see as invaders from other realms trespassing here. They've attempted to attack the house on a couple of occasions, unsuccessfully. The defences we have are more than adequate to repel a number of bandits, but they do patrol the roads in search of travellers. I would advise, if you are to set out on your travels, and again to keep a weather eye out. So yes, he warns you that there are bandits on the road.
Bandits?
Mm.
Oh no!
Okay, so after a few moments of you guys sort of continuing to sit at the table, he sort of stands up, does a bow, and says, if that is all, then I'm afraid I have other things to tend to. If you'd like to retire for the night, I can have you shown to your rooms, or if there's anything else you require. At which point, actually, I think probably Lysatus will get his attention and have a private word with him. But other than that, yeah, you guys can basically do what you want. Which I presume is go to bed.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you are basically all as you stand up, a number of stewards sort of come to your attention and basically lead you off into several sort of like different wings of the building. None of you are sort of like situated like particularly close to each other in terms of rooms. You all seem to sort of like be spread out throughout the building. But yeah, you are all led to individual rooms, which when the sliding door is drawn aside, the rooms are actually quite large. Basically, set into the middle of the floor is a large, like a large comfortable bed, and in each room there is, instead of a sink, there is what is essentially like a small tiered magical fountain that seems to just sort of it like the water flows down the tiers, and you can sort of like wash your hands in it or like wash your face and stuff. And the water never seems to get dirty; it just seems to be like infinitely cycled through this fountain. There is also a small cupboard which contains basically like a nightgown and like night clothes. If any of you don't have night clothes or want to just wear something different, there are soft night clothes. And there's also like basically like a long sofa in the room as well. All in all, it's fairly sort of lavish, and as the stewards leave you in your rooms, they indicate basically that like at the corner of every corridor of rooms there is a steward that is like sort of stood at the end of the corridor, and they say if you need anything at any point in the evening, just find a steward.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so you guys all go to sleep then, I guess. If you are going to sleep here for a long rest, you can all remove 1 despair from the despair tracker.
Oh, thank God.
And I guess you're all spellcasters, so everybody make me an Arcana check, I guess.
Jesus.
Damn, Kelariis.
I finally know something. Magic,
Okay.
guys.
So all of you sleep incredibly well. Kelariis, when you awake in the morning and like sort of begin your morning ritual of like preparing your armor and reciting your prayers, you realize that basically like when you slept, you essentially have no you feel like you've had pleasant dreams, but you have no recollection of any of them. And sort of as you awake, you are aware that sort of in the ambient sort of air in the room, there is a slight magical field that seems to it seems to give you positive vibes, if that makes sense. It is essentially a watered down version of the Calm Emotions spell.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
Weird.
It's a bit strange, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole place is a little bit strange.
I think that's putting it lightly, but yeah.
Yes. Very lightly. So, what do you do with your morning? Anyone volunteer any ideas?
I mean, I don't know. We probably just regroup, I guess.
Okay. If that's what everyone wants to do, then I guess you would group. As you come down, I presume you'd meet up, like, for breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you meet up for breakfast, you notice that the only other member of your companions there is Zale, who is already drinking some sort of juice out of a cup and is reading a book.
So I bid him good morning.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of looks up to you, sort of waves, says good morning, sort of says, how did you sleep?
Surprisingly well.
He sort of nods enthusiastically, says, oh, myself too, it was very peculiar.
There's definitely something unusual about this place.
Yeah, he nods and sort of like says, yes, our host was kind enough to sort of lend me this, and sort of shows you the book that he's reading, and it's it seems to be sort of like it's a handwritten text. You're not sure like who the author is. Like, there's no author name or anything like that, and it seems to be sort of just like a handwritten notebook that seems to basically just tell a little bit of the history of the House of Black Lanterns. And he says it's fascinating, really. The house seems to date back hundreds of centuries and has been owned by as many as I believe it's probably as many as 50 different owners over its lifetime. Yeah, and he prowls on about that for a little bit. I guess probably the next people to join you guys, probably like maybe you're probably like halfway through breakfast when Ilran and Simone come in, and they also seem sort of like incredibly well rested. Sort of like they're chatting like amicably amongst themselves as they come in and they see you guys and they come on over and they join you. The thing that is a little bit out of place is you guys all finish breakfast and there seems to basically be no signs of Lysatus at all.
She's been like acting weird ever since we got here. Not that like
I was gonna say,
but...
what is normal?
No, but like she didn't join it with the bath or anything. I don't know, man.
That's
I
true.
think she's more wary than everyone else.
Probably.
Well, regardless, we should probably find her. I guess I like ask a steward where.
Oh yeah, you could ask a steward if he knows where Lysatus is. Yeah, certainly.
Or like if they know where her room is or whatever.
Yeah, they happily tell you where her room is, but he says, I think you'll find her in the courtyard. She left early this morning.
Okay.
So presumably you go out to the courtyard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As you walk out into the courtyard, I'll take you actually to the courtyard. As you step out into the courtyard, it is immediately obvious where Lysatus is, as she is basically the bench opposite where the peculiar woman in the raven feather cloak was stood yesterday. There's a bench on the opposite side, and Lysatus is sat on it, sort of like cross-legged, and seems to be meditating. As you observe her, though, something looks different. I guess all of you except V make me perception checks.
Getting those nice rolls
Okay.
out of the way.
Cool.
Those important, nice rolls.
Okay,
Mhm.
it kind of makes sense that the ladies would notice this, but
Well,
it would also make sense if Vondal saw this. Yeah, as you regard sort of Lysatis sort of like side on, you notice that like her hair has been, instead of it's sort of like half like sort of frizzy, sort of all over the place state, like her hair has been like plaited in like in a way that it sort of like it all goes back into one long tail rather than being sort of like lots of little sticky out bits. She is also she's not wearing her regular clothes. She seems to be wearing sort of like a set of like almost like casual robes, except instead of like full-length robes, they only come down to like sort of like skirt length, and she's got like a pair of like leggings on underneath. And yeah, basically she I guess I guess you'd notice this as well. She seems like there seems to be more colour in her cheeks than there has been these past couple of days.
Spa days are doing wonders.
Clearly.
Clearly.
Join us for the spa. Maybe
Wow.
she just private.
Maybe she got her own-
During her private time, she seems to have been sort of taken care of by at least one person. So you suspect she went to have something in particular done that she requested. But yeah, she is basically like sat out on a bench meditating.
Maybe we shouldn't interrupt.
I mean, she's not like deep in the middle of anything. She's just having a meditation.
Yeah, I mean, elves meditate all the damn time, so.
It's true.
Eh,
Every day, for that fact.
every day.
Every
All
day.
day,
For at
every
least
day.
for at least 4 hours.
For at least 4 hours.
I mean, I guess I walk up to her then.
Yeah, she sort of like just greets you happily when she's sort of like she probably like is aware of you approaching, and then like as you're close enough, she sort of like unfolds her legs and says, "Ah, good morning."
Good morning. You sleep well?
She nods and says, "Yes, very well, thank you."
I like your hair.
She smiles and sort of like gives it a little flick and says, "Yes." I thought we were here. I might as well take advantage of the facilities.
I guess we should be thinking of setting out again soon. As much as I like this place.
She nods and says, "I was thinking about that actually," and she produces. She produces one for each of you and one for the NPCs, but I'll track that. A small bundle of what is basically like dried fruits and other travel rations.
Oh.
Yeah, she basically produces 2 days worth of travel rations for each of you.
Oh yeah.
The hell did you get that?
Right?
The kitchen.
Oh. Right.
This is so much better than all food.
I know,
Yep.
seriously, we're the worst.
She's a mom.
She is a mom, that's true.
Huzzah.
She got up early and got packed lunch for everybody.
Oh,
Shit, she did.
Perfect.
just like a real mom.
I can't believe it.
God, now we have two mothers.
And a dad.
And a
And a
dad.
dad. Wow, what a family. Free parents.
Like, don't judge.
Two angsty teenage daughters. List goes on.
Yeah.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
So, it doesn't take you guys very long. Lysatis goes and gets changed into her regular outfit, and you guys, before long, are ready to get going.
Oh.
So yeah, basically, like Yarol comes to see you off, and sort of he gives you sort of like
Wait, are we gonna pay him?
well, presumably yes.
Okay.
But he like as you're sort of getting ready to go, he's sort of like he's chatting to you, and he says, I don't know which direction you're headed, but and he sort of gives you sort of like an indication of like what's nearby, sort of the town of Gloomwrought off to the east, which he says is sort of like the place that most people seem to go on their travels, but he says is not without its charms and its perils. He advises that you keep well away from the city in the true north, the city of Evernight. And he also recommends that you keep away from the place that the locals have taken to calling the Black Fortress, which is run by a necromancer.
Oh.
Okay.
Which happens to be the exact place that he describes that you are going. So,
Awesome.
Well,
Good.
I mean,
That's where
you are going to hunt a necromancer. So,
We are.
that's true.
And we're gonna kick his butt.
Or have our butts kicked.
Yeah.
No,
we're
we
going
have to believe.
We're gonna kick the butt of his pasty white chimera as well.
yes.
Wow.
But yeah, he gives you sort of like a rundown of all of the locations, and he tallies up your bill.
It's gonna be like so fucking expensive, guys.
It's a fancy fucking tavern.
Uh, 36 gold. It's quite a
For
lot.
each of us?
No, between you.
Oh.
Oh, that's
So
not as bad as I
just
thought.
Oh wait, is between like all of us, or like?
Just us.
Oh,
minus
yeah,
you.
between you four. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's...
we'd all just deduct 6.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Guys,
Wow.
I would like you to know that I'm on exactly 500 gold and 2 silver.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
Feels good.
Feels good, man. Feels good to have a lot of fucking money for no reason.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I'll point out this is it's actually 9 gold between you guys. I've just done the maths.
What?
Alright.
I'm bad at math.
Yeah,
Because
because I was like, hold on, 6. That would be between 6. But yeah, it's between 4.
That's embarrassing.
Mathematics is not our strong point.
But yes, what was I saying? Yes, this is like the most expensive hotel bill you guys have ever paid for any of you.
Huzzah.
We were only here for one night.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, the House of Black Lanterns is not cheap, but it is the only thing of its kind anywhere nearby.
Dude, I would gladly give another 9 gold to lose 2 despair points.
Yeah,
That's true.
you could have if you'd engaged in more things.
Yeah, but we also need to
Aw.
like.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
technically, yeah, Lysatis should lose an extra one for her treatment.
We don't have time to just like chill in the tavern for like weeks.
No, you don't.
I wish we did.
I mean, that would be exciting and engaging roleplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
No, it wouldn't.
Hmm.
It wasn't exciting and
Down-
engaging. when we were
downtime
last
fan
week,
service
it won't be
episodes.
this time. Yeah, it wasn't
So-
engaging. It wasn't really like we didn't really get into anything
Look.
like last time.
Just
With
let it
that,
happen.
say goodbye to the nice relaxing music.
Bye.
Aw, but it was so nice.
It was nice.
Can't we just keep it for like 5 minutes?
And back
Five
into the
more
ash and
minutes more.
echoes.
Oh.
So yes, as you leave the threshold of the House of Black Lanterns, you walk for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, before a strong breeze begins to pick up. And it was almost out of nowhere, it whips up all of a sudden. And once again, you hear a bell toll 3 times, and then the dust storm subsides. And as you turn around, the House of Black Lanterns is no longer there.
That was nice while it lasted.
Indeed.
So, you continue onwards on your journey.
What's the place we were told not to go to?
Yes.
That's pretty much how we roll.
So you head towards the location that Alwyn described as the Winding Stair. Everybody give me an extended perception check as you travel.
Oh, I probably should have
my
done
God.
this. Like,
Oh,
oh
boy.
no, we made
We
mistakes.
did it so wrong!
Vondal, or yeah,
That's okay. Vondal, you need to roll 2 more.
yeah, and then I'll.
Also, guys, I didn't roll above a 9.
Oh,
Nice.
There you go.
okay.
Just saving those good rolls, you know.
Yeah, you gotta keep them in
I did
stock.
okay.
Yeah, you'll need them.
Okay. As you enter into the ashen line of dead trees and back into the forested canopy, you immediately notice that basically the path under your feet becomes very tight and begins to run into what is essentially a narrow gully. Arya, Kelariis, and Vondal. The first thing on your mind is this gully is the perfect place for an ambush.
Oh, cool.
Shit.
Meanwhile, me, I'm just skipping along.
A sentiment which is echoed by Lysatus. But yes, you continue. I guess do you do anything with this knowledge in mind?
Guess just proceed with extreme caution.
Okay. In that case,
We still get fucked in the ass.
what was the highest you rolled? 19.
I rolled an 18.
Kelariis got a 19 though.
Ah.
Okay, so Kelariis, you get probably a couple of hours of walking in this trench. You move like a lot slower than you would normally to sort of like account for like keeping an eye on things. Until basically you get to a point in the gully where it veers narrowly past like a particularly like thick line of trees, and it turns a corner, and you're basically about to start to sort of peer around this corner when out in the above you somewhere in the forest canopy you hear like the snap of a twig, and that immediately puts you on edge. The gully that you're currently walking in is probably no more than like 3 or 4 feet deep, but you are at an immediate disadvantage while you are in this because it's basically no more than 5 feet wide, so it would put you at a disadvantage were you to fight in it.
When I hear the snap, I would point it out to Arya first because I know
Yeah.
that she's you know.
Yeah, I imagine the two of you are sort of like at the front leading things.
Can we get out of the gully but still continue in like the same direction?
Yes. Yes, it would be slower going, but you would no longer be in the gully.
I mean, slower going seems
Yeah, I'm
favorable to
chill with that.
potentially-
Yeah. You essentially have to climb over tree roots and stuff at regular intervals, but
Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm a ranger. I don't fucking deal with terrain.
yes.
Meanwhile, there's me
Yep. You have to suffer.
getting caught on brambles constantly, probably.
Oh, quick question that I will allow you to decide retroactively, because I should have asked you this before you left. Are you travelling in armour?
Oh, Have we?
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I'm not traveling.
I
in
mean,
this
it's
shitty
the
place without
Shadowfell.
armor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm not
can't
traveling
imagine.
here without armor. Why
Okay.
the fuck can I walk through here without armor?
Yeah.
That's just asking to die.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems like a terrible decision to not wear armor.
So, you're just going to proceed along the path, but not in the gully?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I guess keep an eye out for things. Is that?
Sure.
So much dice roll.
So many NPCs to roll for.
You know it.
I mean, admittedly, 4 of them are your friends, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit more comfortable. Still not a whole lot.
Okay.
No.
You become aware of this like pretty much like as soon as it begins to happen, but you climb out of the gully with the rest of your companions. Do you all stick to one side, or do you sort of like go either side of it?
I'd say all to one side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, seems dangerous.
Yeah. So you all
Perfect for an AoE spell.
yeah. You all climb out and walk along the one side. And you the first thing that you're aware of is the from the direction that you heard the twig snapping, you hear a couple more sort of like twig snapping sounds, and then like the rustling of one of the dead tree canopies, and you look up just in time to sort of see somebody or something humanoid moving through the trees.
Cool.
If you had to make a brief tactical assessment, you would say they were trying to use the cover of the overhead trees to move from the opposite side of the gully to the side you're standing on, to the side that you guys are now standing on. What do you do?
So do we have an idea of where they are now? Or like not really?
You know that there is at least one.
Also, do I have an idea? Because my perceptions are all really bad.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do we all know this?
I mean, the everybody who rolled basically except V is aware of this, but you can very easily just sort of under your breath tell V that this is happening. You have plenty of time.
I mean, I assume they kind of notified stuff when we crept out of the gully.
Yeah.
Quick, swap sides. Go on the other side of the gully. It's more awkward for them to climb over than us.
I mean, then we'll be exposed the whole way across.
Yeah.
What about moving to the other side of the gully?
Yeah, like we have to walk across the gully floor.
It's 5 foot wide. It's not like it's a track.
This is like a really stupid idea, but if I have like, I don't know if I have like a good like idea of where they are exactly, but I was thinking of maybe like using shatter on like one of the like trees and making it fall. I don't know.
Give me a nature check.
Probably wouldn't work. I don't have advantage, do I?
No, you don't. Jin, from that assessment, like, you doubt you'd be able to, like, destroy the tree, but you would certainly, like, snap off, like, a significant number of the dry branches.
But let's like shake someone out of it. I don't think it would actually help us. No.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. Left or right?
Well, right.
Okay. You're walking along the right side of the gully.
I don't know what to do.
Well, we can assume that because we're in the Shadowfell, this is probably something that wants to attack us.
True.
Like that's a fair assessment, right?
And it's
Yeah.
trying to hide.
Yeah, it's hide or prepare to fight, like, or both.
Surrender
I mean,
now,
at this point, I
prepare to
think they
fight.
know where they are.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, ignoring Cav.
Helena started it.
Yeah, I started it. I'm sorry.
Is the word. Yeah, I guess might as well just prepare to fight at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So, presumably you start by drawing weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you
Combat formations.
as you draw weapons, your companions do the same. And at that moment, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll go to the map. Yeah, so as you draw weapons, the figure or figures that are following you, who are actually now ahead of you, jump. One of them jumps out of the trees and draws like a long. I think it's a scimitar he's got. I believe it's a long scimitar. Yes, it is a scimitar. He draws a long scimitar. It is this fellow here. And he, I guess he calls out to probably Arya. And he says, "Hold up there, friends. I wouldn't draw those weapons just yet." And yeah, within that same sort of thing, you see a man standing behind him with a long-handled mace, and who is wearing, he's wearing like, I think it's chainmail armor. And you also see a small girl who probably isn't any older than 13 or 14 emerge from behind one of the trees, who seems to be sort of nervously fiddling with something in her hand and holding a book.
She's the most dangerous.
Give me a perception check as well, all of you.
My perception is that she's the most
Go on.
dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
My rolls are just bad.
Vondal, you notice like your companions who are like further back behind you, who have also drawn weapons, are being approached from behind by a similar number of individuals. Actually, no. I think there's more of them on their side. Yes, there is.
Ah, good.
Yeah, speaking of our companions.
What about them?
Where are they?
Not on this battle map because I don't want to play a fight by myself.
Alright.
Yeah, but essentially, they've done a sort of a very good job of splitting you guys in two. Mainly so I don't have to play a whole bunch of characters and we can get through combat a lot quicker.
Hooray!
But yes, Arya, your elf senses help you to notice that there is in fact a fourth member of this gang who is hiding just sort of like in the low shrubbery behind a tree.
Wouldn't that have more to do with the fact that she's a ranger rather than the fact that she's an elf?
Both.
Same thing.
It is.
It's not the same.
It is a partial contribution of your ranger ability is your low light senses and your higher than average hearing.
This big ear is good for something.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn, that's racist.
What? I'm just making a comment.
What does that beard help you with?
Oh,
Storing
shit.
food.
Shots
Right.
Fired.
That's gross.
That is gross.
Yeah, but it's handy when you run out of food.
So, what I want to know what your immediate reactions are. Oh yeah, I guess Arya with your 21 as well. You can see that the thing that the girl is fiddling with seems to be some sort of metal charm.
Right. Don't trust her.
That's definitely an arcane focus.
Oh boy.
How do you want to react? You've all drawn preferred weapons.
I guess I'm going to say it would be easier to trust you if we could see all of you. And then, like, nod towards where the other person is hiding.
Okay. I guess he considers you for a moment. I'm not going to make him roll for this. He's not scared of you.
Wow, he should be.
He should be, but he's not. Oh, I should also point out, as these guys come out from hiding and you can observe them clearly, you notice that they are all Shadar Kai.
Nice.
Fucking knew it.
Bandits.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, so he considers you for a moment before sort of shrugging and saying, "Sorry, love, we're holding all the cards here."
Wow, you're really not, but okay. Also, don't call me love. You don't know me like that.
Is that in character, Luka?
No.
Okay.
I feel like
Look, it
Arya
could've
definitely
been.
thinks that. She
Yeah.
thinks that. She doesn't say it.
Okay. So what do you do, or say?
What business do you have with us?
He looks at you and says, "What other business do you, Let me do the math in my head real quick. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11? What other business do 11 men have with travellers on the road?
Nope.
We're here to relieve you of your belongings.
I'm afraid we can't allow you to do that.
Oh, wow. That would be a terrible shame then, wouldn't it?
I warn you, you will get hurt if you try to do this.
You've bitten off more than you can chew, my friend.
I don't fucking care.
No, I think that was
Yeah,
in character
it's
to
a bad
him.
Yeah, that's to him.
Yeah. That's
No,
in
I know.
You the bandit.
I guess with that he just says, well, we'll see about that. And then he indicates his crew to begin moving forwards. His crew. I guess that means you guys would like to be rolled into initiative.
Yeah.
No, I would. I'd like them all to just leave, but. Okay.
Yeah, that's not on the cards, I'm afraid.
Do you love your card metaphors today?
Wait, what?
Oh wait, shit! I haven't selected V. No.
I
I have to roll again, Rob.
Fuck.
Yes, you do.
God damn it! It's not
That's good,
the
though.
worst.
Wow, I don't know why
No, it's not the worst.
Look at that natural 20 though.
my token
Yeah,
has the wrong name for some
so
reason, because
better
that's
than
not the
that.
character that's rolling at all.
Oh, that's
That's weird. Oh well. I know who it is.
You know who it is.
God, you still roll better than me.
And I need to bring up some other
Better than
bandits.
Boss Man.
Lyra, what the fuck is that?
That's a 7.
Oh,
You
That's
rolled a
shit.
solid 2.
That's a lucky 7. That is.
I'm sure I would call it
Lucky
lucky,
seven.
but you know.
Yeah, lucky 7. 7 is lucky.
Must be
She
an
didn't
anime
actually
I
roll
watched,
a
like
7.
5 years ago.
So
Yeah.
7 is lucky and
God
3 is
damn it,
magic.
Rob.
What? It's in my repository of music now. Expect to hear it more often. Also, it's appropriate.
Fine.
I don't know why I gave these characters individual sheets. This was a terrible idea.
Hopefully we'll just kill them fast enough that it won't matter.
Okay, wow, actually that's quite interesting. Okay, so the first thing that happens is you notice that the girl begins to, I guess, yeah, she starts muttering under her breath and making hand gestures to cast a spell.
Good.
Are you going to do anything?
It's not her fucking turn. Or are we surprised?
Hmm?
It's Kelariis goes first.
Oh, it's Kelariis' turn, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, shit, okay.
Natural 20.
Sorry, my
Yeah, look at the turn order.
yeah, my scroll
God,
bar
Rob.
my scroll bar didn't show up properly.
You can't just say fuck the rules.
No,
I
okay,
mean, I guess you
Kelariis,
can.
you want to go first then?
Okay, has anybody said anything about her probably being the most dangerous?
I don't think so, no.
Not out loud.
Okay, well, there goes that plan. I'm gonna go. Gotta go up to this guy and start swinging.
Okay,
I mean, the decision of me was entirely meta, so it's not really fair to say that.
okay, yeah, you
Well, I mean, yeah,
you want to rush the guy who was mouthing off at you? Sure,
yeah, of course.
go for it.
Fuck that
Which
guy.
means he's fucked.
Well, fuck this guy, hopefully.
Fuck up this guy in particular.
Fuck up this guy, hopefully, please.
Okay,
Kelariis.
that's a hit.
Thank you. Kelariis.
Not many things that won't hit.
And I will do
Actually, you
another
roll
one.
like 19s. Jeez.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, he can't even use his special ability against those because they're literally too high.
Sucks to suck.
Cool. Yeah, you lay into this.
It's Kelariis.
You lay into this guy who tries to parry you with his scimitar, but doesn't do a very good job as you sort of bring the sword crashing down on him.
Shame about that damage, though.
I know.
Not the greatest.
Minimum damage.
The girl begins muttering under her breath, preparing to
Yeah,
cast a
that's
spell.
Arcana check.
You're gonna Arcana check it. Yeah, it is a evocation cantrip.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not a fun one. I'm gonna counterspell that. Do I know what level it is?
Cantrip.
Cantrip,
What's
level
cantrip?
0.
Evocation cantrip, he literally said.
Wait, a cantrip.
Yeah.
That's not fucking worth count.
I don't know, Helena.
I mean,
Evocation
Cantrip?
cantrip. That's just like a single target attack, probably.
Wow.
probably.
Probably is the
Like
final
incoming.
last
Well,
one.
what evocation cantrips do you know?
I don't know the fucking spell
Fireball.
schools of everything, Rob.
I know
I'm gonna let it
fireball.
pass.
There's,
Fuck
like,
it.
Okay.
fireball and shit.
And we get fucked in the
Yeah.
ass.
So
Fucking cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Aimed at Vondal. She's gonna fire a firebolt.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
There you
hit.
go. I thought it
She
would be.
she strikes you with a firebolt, Vondal, that streaks across the canyon and hits you for 2 fire damage.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Cantrip. Luka. Fucking hell.
Fine, look, we've had too many
V.
instances where magic just fucked us.
I don't really know what to do here yet. You know what? I'm gonna fire some magic missile at that girl.
Okay.
Level 1.
At the girl who just cast magic at you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You fire these magic missiles in return at her, and she watches these 3 missiles approach her at speed. Her eyes go wide before they hit her, and she crumples into a heap.
Oh God!
Well,
Well, she's dead.
What?
I feel bad
Wow.
now.
She attacked my friend!
Alright.
Okay.
Well, that's
Arya.
like-
I was clearly wrong. She was not the biggest threat. Oh, lordy, lordy.
well,
Poor girl. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Okay.
Dawn's light. That sucks.
That does suck. That sucks quite a considerable amount, even with your advantage.
I channel divinity on that shit.
Can you?
Plus 10 to Arya.
Oh my God.
And
jeez.
plus 10 channel divinity. Whoa.
Okay.
What the fuck?
You're gonna
Like
you
a boss.
use your channel divinity, so which makes it 21. So that's a hit. Cool.
Jesus, Vondal.
Do damage.
He runs out from behind this tree and takes an arrow to the upper torso that actually he's charging full pelt, but the arrow actually makes him stop in his tracks and stagger
Wow.
backwards before he can recover.
Sweet.
That's our bitch.
Get wrecked.
Correct.
He is gonna go next. Actually, because he's taken over half his health and damage, I'm gonna make him.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay, these guys have shit health.
Bandits!
Yeah, he is drastically rethinking his life choices.
Yeah.
After
I-
just
I
being
warned
shot by
you.
that.
I warned you.
Don't attack regular humans walking through the Shadowfell. They're not actually going to be regular humans.
He is going to fumble with a light crossbow on his back instead. He's going to throw his maul to the ground and take a shot at you, which whizzes harmlessly past you.
Oh my god.
You made a bad choice today, my friend.
Right, I guess. Okay. Okay, she doesn't actually have a skill for it, so she's just going to do that. Okay. The woman who is hiding behind the tree attempts to disappear sort of into the foliage and fails.
Okay, so she's still there.
Vondal.
So I know she's there then.
Yeah, you know she's there.
Alright. Yep. Do.
Okay.
I've got one of these. Ah.
Okay, that's a miss.
Oh, my
War Priest.
Okay. Okay. You bring your warhammer across that like goes over her head as she ducks underneath you, but then quickly you sort of recover your swing and bring it down and hit her.
Oh shit.
Cool.
That's
Maximum
max damage.
She is crouching as you bring this swing down, and it basically connects with like where her neck reaches her
Oh, dear.
spine.
Oh.
And
she's-
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Clearly, these are clearly just regular bandits.
Yep.
They've definitely
Lyra?
bitten off more than they can chew.
Yeah. It's not their time to shine.
Suffice to say, they fucked up.
Whee!
Okay.
Ah. Rah.
Nice, that's a hit. He takes 9 and has to make a saving throw. Oh, okay. So Lyra
That's a saving throw.
bites into. Oh, that's not private for some reason. Oh well.
Yeah.
Bites into his bites into his arm where she thinks is like soft flesh, but actually there's a leather bracer there hidden under the shirt. It still deals a significant amount of damage, but she does not get a good enough grip to try and pull him down. Oops. He is going to take his turn.
Run screaming like the little bitch you are.
No, he is not going to do that. Well, partly because he still thinks he can fight back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not as puny as you might think. So
He's just amazing.
that's a miss. That's also fuck me.
Yeah, so he's not as funny as you might think.
Get wrecked.
And he's going to draw his offhand dagger, and actually he does manage to succeed on that one and hits Kelariis for 7 piercing damage. Manages to like swing at you with the sword, which you block twice, but then like he sleight of hands this dagger out from his belt and sort of like sticks it in under your armor, which hurts. As the initiative ticks over to the next round, I'd like all of you to make me a perception check.
Nice go.
Okay.
Oh my god, guys. Don't fuck it up, V.
Okay, nice. You all look up from your like varying degrees of success to assess how the rest of the battle is going. The 6 other people who are assaulting your allies, 2 of them seem to be already bleeding out to shots from both Ilran and Simone. And two of them are attempting to grapple with Lysatus to no real sort of effect. Lysatus is sort of like they're like sort of running at her. She doesn't even want to waste the slot, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
They're running towards Lysatus, and Lysatus is just sort of like ducking underneath them and like swinging with the sword. It's not a sword, is it? What is it? Shillelagh that she's got. The club or something like. It's a club or a staff. I can't remember which. I'm not going to look it up now. Actually, I already have it open. It is a club. She also has a short sword for some reason. I don't know why that is. Oh yes, because she needs it to use the other attack. So yeah, she's swinging with a club, and Zale seems to be flinging his ice beams at the other guy who was trying to hide behind a tree and reload a crossbow. But what the rest of you notice that also the bandit boss looks up and notices is a shadow passes overhead.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
And as the shadow passes overhead, you look up and you see a scaled winged shape circling and
There's
beginning
my
to
dragon.
land. Well, not quite land, more come in for a flyby.
Great.
And
I don't think a tree's gonna save you.
Yeah, and it's gonna crash into the fucking tree if you're close to one.
No,
It's in
I
the
don't
open.
think it's.
It's if you're in the open, it's gonna grab you.
If you're in the open, it's gonna fry you, and if you're behind a tree, it's gonna fry you.
It's only a wyvern.
make me a nature check. All of you.
Oh, I know my stuff.
I know my stuff even
Clearly.
better.
Yes. Kelariis, you've never seen a draconic shape quite like this up close before, so you don't know very much about it. Vondal, Arya, and V, you all know that wyverns...
Really, with a 5.
Technically you have advantage.
Oh, right. Wait, is it a fiend?
It is not, no.
Oh.
This is just from your me factoring your ranger expertise.
Oh, right.
It's a fluff advantage, not a rules advantage. Yeah, you know that wyverns, unlike regular dragons, do not have breath attacks. Instead, they make up for it with a very nasty poisoned stinger in the tail.
Oh, good.
And we can change the music as it comes in and attempts to sweep past you.
They like to kind of just swoop in, grab whatever they want to eat, and fly away with it. That's a very wyvern thing.
Okay.
Rest in peace, bandits.
It's 12. And...
The wyvern's also not private.
yes, I'm doing it now. Okay. Descending. Okay, Kelariis, react.
Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna try to finish taking care of this guy in front of me,
Okay.
and then turn to the wall. You know, eventually.
The
take care
giant
of
fucking
whatever.
dragon.
Okay, yeah. I think that's also a hit. It is.
Sweet. I do
Okay.
that.
You're continuing to just duel with this guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
These damage rolls, though.
Actually, I want to add just like a first level smite to the end of that one.
Yeah, do it.
You have something
Yeah.
big to deal with. So, oh, that was
That's an additional 6 damage.
not great.
Cool. You ignite the holy fire in your blade as you swing, and leave him with sort of like a nasty wound across his shoulder. The bandit mage does nothing. V.
Holy shit, it's a wyvern! Guess I just do more magic missiles. At the dragon this time. At the
Yep.
The wyvern.
You cast the same spell again.
Nice.
That's a good damage. Oops. God, I love how epic this music is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not quite a giant worm, but it's
No.
close enough. Also, it won't bullshit one-shot you.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
That sounds like salt, Rob.
It is a little
Yeah.
bit.
Getting some salty vibes coming off of you right now.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to decide if I want to mark this wyvern. That's my magic girl incantation. Yeah, fuck it. I mean, I famous last words. I can't imagine Rob throwing more terrible things at us today.
Is that a challenge?
No,
I mean, even if he does, Hunter's Mark is not a bad idea anyway.
it's not Hunter's Mark. I'm gonna do
Oh.
Dawn's
Oh,
Light.
you're...
Yeah.
You're doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the mega bow, mega.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Magical
mean, I could
god
also
bow.
do Hunter's Mark. That'd be kind of ridiculous, but
One more
Okay.
combo, you.
So remind me what the key phrase is again?
oh, brilliant rays of morning light, seek out my enemy and ensure their destruction.
Okay. The
And I
bow
have my
glows.
magical transformation sequence.
Yeah.
I like
We also-
imagining that.
We also have to
Yeah.
sit there and go, is this taking ages because it's a god's bow or just because it's a magical
Yeah.
transformation sequence?
Arya's armor just all falls off, and it's just left with a silhouette, and then it just like comes back in again.
Yep. It's all glowy and shit.
You have to have a dress.
I have to have a
Yep.
dress. Yes. There's no.
None of that happens. I'm sorry.
We also
Damn
we
it.
all know that transformation sequences are secretly instant. Just
Yes.
the viewer sees the
Yeah.
actual sequence.
So,
Yeah.
so all of a sudden she's like in a dress.
Okay,
Oh, that's.
that's 15 damage though. Cool. An arrow flies out from Dawnlight and strikes the wyvern as it is descending on you. The bandit brute somehow manages to regain his composure.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
He's still gonna like hide behind the tree and shoot at the wyvern with a crossbow. That's not the right bandit.
He's foreign.
Wyvern.
That's
I toggle between them.
Really do.
Nope, he whiffs out of sheer fear.
Understandable.
Suck it.
And the wyvern.
I like to think that he goes, "I've got this!" Like, grabs his crossbow, and then he goes, "I have not got this!"
I've not got this. Okay, the wyvern swoops across the entire clearing.
Cool.
First of all, hitting Arya.
Ouch.
Could have moved.
It is gonna claw you as it flies. Okay, yeah, the wyvern descends on you with its talons, slicing into your armor and dealing 12 slashing damage.
That's a lot.
It is then going to pull away from you, so I don't think you get an attack of opportunity because you're using a ranged weapon.
That's bullshit.
You can't hit it with anything.
I could just whack it.
It's not moving out
The
of melee
bow.
range.
Yeah, sadly that isn't how this works.
Aw.
Headbutt it, Arya.
Yeah.
Nut it.
And V, it's going to swipe at you with its tail stinger.
Oh, come at me, bitch.
Wow, that, believe it or not, it actually misses you.
Huzzah!
Oh shit.
I was ready to use my poison resist.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
it
say,
makes it to there. Oh, I should also point out that as it swoops, it's still like a decent height off the ground. It only descends to actually like to hit you, and by the time it's pulling away again, it's like a couple of feet in the air. So if you're trying to hit it with melee attacks, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Shit.
AKA rest in peace, Kelariis.
I
Throw
mean,
your javelin.
Kelariis has ranged attacks.
There are like 3 things I can do.
See, what you
Throw
do
a
is...
javelin at it.
Once
Look, what you
each.
do is you misty step up in the air, and while
Oh
you're
my God.
falling...
Just stab it.
I mean, you
Back.
can do that technically.
Oh boy. Okay, we'll see how desperate this gets.
That's
'cause
very
pretty
anime,
fun.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
it
pretty
really is.
anime.
Anyway. I'm gonna guiding bolt it as it's flying away.
Okay. Okay. That is a hit.
Oh, nice.
Is that the
Wow.
noise? That's your battle cry.
No.
Vondal jumps out from behind a tree and says, "Hula!" At which point, a bolt of guiding light flies out from his hammer and shoots towards the wyvern, hitting it in the back. The wyvern seems generally kind of actually unfazed, like it is being wounded by these attacks, but otherwise it doesn't seem bothered.
Bullshit magic.
The bandit boss is decided that all of a sudden he's remembered that he's left the oven on.
No.
And
My muffins!
he's
Oh, no,
go-
I left the island.
he's go-
My God.
he's going to disengage and move away.
Oh wait. Oh, he disengaged. God
He used
damn it.
disengage, yeah.
That's bullshit. That's some bullshit.
He Scooby and Shaggy's his way out, complete with leg animation.
Yeah. An unnecessary sound effect.
Lyra.
That was really well done.
Wait, which is the bitch that's running this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy is away.
Okay.
Oh
Take
my
him
god.
down.
Take it down,
him.
girl.
She really does fucking act like the NPCs in that fight.
Yep.
Help you, you've got to commit everything to killing him.
Yep.
I mean, Lyra can't do anything to the Wyvern,
No.
so.
Kelariis can throw Lyra at the
This is like the time we summoned Ifan's Spirit Wolf, and then everybody climbed up ladders, and we were like, well, shit.
Rest in peace, Spirit Wolf.
Yeah, he's gonna make a strength saving throw. Oh, wow, okay, so Lyra actually takes him down and knocks him prone.
Ha!
Lyra.
Aha! Get wrecked, you
I'll
bastard.
use that for prone.
Oh man.
Man
Kelariis.
who runs from battle has no honor.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Do
I
it.
don't know.
BD anime you always wanted to be.
What does that
The
mean?
anime
No,
that I
play
always
it
wanted
safe.
to be.
Play it safe!
Well, I was gonna see if I can take care of. How bad are both of? Oh, I guess I can't see the guy behind on the other side of the tree for me. But how bad is this guy who tried to run away? with me?
Give me a perception check to, like, assess the battlefield real quick.
I mean, he's being mauled by Lyra currently. So
Oh,
probably
I
not
guess I-
great.
Yeah, he's probably not doing
You
fantastic.
can't really assess the condition of the guy on the floor, but you know you like slashed him across the soldier, the
Soldier.
shoulder, and also you just watch Lyra bite into his calf and then down him, and you've seen this happen before. It usually doesn't end well.
Wait, hang on.
As for the guy behind the tree, you have no fucking clue. You saw him get shot in the chest, and then nothing else.
Can I get scared?
Wait, hang on a second.
What up?
She slashed him in the soldier, rolling a 7 and a 6.
Wow,
That was a stretch.
that is a very, very big stretch.
He's not a young man anymore.
Also, she didn't run a 7 and a 6. She rolled like a 14 and a
6 on the smite.
I take the 6 on the smite in his defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try to.
Seven
Finish.
on
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Carry on.
I'm gonna try to
Whatever,
finish
yeah.
off this
Your
guy.
joke sucks.
Dead.
Nope. Okay.
You know
Jokes
this, you know this
suck.
about
Get
me.
out.
My jokes are never good.
I'm gonna stab him. He's on the ground.
Okay.
Hopefully. Is he still alive?
No.
Okay.
Definitely
No.
bit off more than
Oh shit.
Like, Lyra pulls him to the ground, you sort of catch up, and then you just sort of run him through for the finisher.
Finish her.
I tried to
Finish.
warn him.
Can
We all
I
tried to
say that I stood here instead so that I can actually move to go hit the other guy?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. I'm gonna just kind of run over here and hopefully hit him too.
Okay.
That was
Yep, that's a hit.
Oh no, he is. Okay, sweet.
Because his AC is not high enough.
Oh good.
Yeah, you rolled a very
Rolling
good
a 7 and still hitting Clark.
Yep.
Hey. Okay.
Cool. Like, he looks up from, like, reloading his crossbow, sort of, like, turns around to face you as he has run through with the sword.
Haha.
Double kill.
Now we just have to deal with a dragon.
He looks at you in surprise, like, holds the sword and just goes, Nani?
Oh my god.
I feel
The weeb ass.
disgusted.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Alright, how
I've
far?
got a word of power I need to learn.
Ooh, that's a far away.
That just gave me Witcher vibes.
No, I'm trying to do
What the-
Skyrim. Words of power. Dragon souls.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
I just thought of power words.
I
Yeah,
thought of Power Rangers.
I mean, you
Power
can...
word kill.
Yeah, you can learn power words.
I can.
I can as well, but I don't think I ever will.
No. What are you going to do now, is the question.
Kill
Oh,
this
right.
fucking dragon.
Yep.
Wyvern thing.
I mean, I feel like magic missile spam is not. Yeah, it's kind of alright. It's not a bad thing, right?
V's internal struggles.
Unless you've got another trick up your sleeve.
Arya,
Yes.
powered up.
What?
Nice.
You're
You're
powered
powered
up.
up.
Get in there!
Get in there!
You cast
Oh
haste.
my, I just go super fast.
Arya has +1 AP.
Oh.
Wow. It's a bad joke. I think that's like it for my turn. That's time.
Move, hide behind a tree where I can't get you.
You know what? Sure, I'll hide here.
If you're gonna do
I have
that,
to fucking move through the gully.
yeah, that will count as difficult terrain, so
Can I
it
not
will
jump over it? It's like 5 feet.
make me an athletics check.
The tree over here!
Ah, that's gonna be a great idea. Let's do it.
Oh my fucking
Cool.
god.
That is enough to make it.
Haha!
Very good.
It is not a difficult jump. It is only 5 feet.
What I
There's a
said.
tree right here.
Fuck it. I'm happy here. This is my tree now.
This is my tree. Okay.
Okay, Arya.
Maneuver
Some
there.
real nice mic noises somebody's making.
It's in fact Arya.
Oh.
Oh, you are. By the way, you might wanna. You can move more than that. I don't know if you wanna actually do that.
I don't really care.
Because your
Um,
speed is doubled.
Right, but I mean, it's doesn't matter. I'm gonna strike it.
Okay. Pew.
Bam, and
Try it
then
through the hearts.
bam. Oh, nice.
Nice. That's some good damage.
Quick, attack it again.
Oh, right, I can do it twice.
Extra action.
Bam. Is that enough?
No.
Oh wait, I have an advantage, don't I? Because he's my favorite enemy.
Ah, because the bow. Yes. Yeah, you always have advantage against your favorite enemy and disadvantage against anything else.
Everyone else.
Nice.
So that is 13. Yeah, you land 2 more flashes of light from Dawnlight, which pierce into the wyvern's scales, and it seems generally displeased with you. Bandit Brute is dead, Bandit Cutthroat is dead, Wyvern turns around and enters phase 2!
No!
It lands!
Two.
It lands.
Second
It lands.
health
That's
bar.
good.
Now it really is like
Second
a
health
Skyrim
bar.
dragon, but with a
Yeah.
poison stinger instead of a breath.
Yeah, it tries to bite Arya. What is your AC now with +2?
That'd be 17.
Okay, that still hits.
Oh man.
It bites you for 12 piercing damage, and then attempts to whack you with its stinger. It also hits
No.
again.
No.
You have +2 AC. For
Take-
me.
Take 8 piercing and make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Shouldn't tell
I
me
should
you.
take Constitution.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I shouldn't say the DC. I always fuck this up.
Oh my god.
Nice Constitution.
Okay, so you take 12 poison damage.
Holy shit.
Good god.
You would have taken 25 if you'd failed.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I would have almost
How
been
does
down.
25 turn into 9?
12.
12?
Oh, 12. I'm done.
Funny.
No, it's fine. I'll just leave.
I'll sleep.
Okay, so yeah. Luckily for you, it doesn't actually inflict poison, it just deals damage.
That's good.
Lots of poison damage.
Vondal.
Kelariis, get in here.
I'm trying.
In the meanwhile, let's keep our Elf Ranger, who's reckless, alive.
I'm not reckless.
She's not.
To be fair, it turned on her.
Yeah.
She moved towards it when
I-
shooting it and didn't get
It had-
behind the tree.
It has 80 feet flying speed. It was next to
It
her.
doesn't fucking matter.
It's fine.
It's a fucking dragon, man. It is gonna fuck with you wherever you are.
Yeah, well, be healed. Have a second level cure wounds.
How
Wow,
much
that
do I
is
get healed?
unbearably shit.
Jesus. Well, thanks.
8 HP.
Vondal conjures healing magic in his hand. Doop.
That's maxing me. I'm staying here. Because I can't go any further.
Okay. He's dead. Lyra.
Ugh.
It has now landed. Lyra can actually do things.
It has.
Bite the dragon.
Bite the fucking dragon. I don't think she can get there, actually.
Bite its tail off.
Yeah, she can't.
Well, she has 40, doesn't she? But
If
I
you
mean,
bite it-
still can't.
If you bite its tail off, you can get the Drake sword. Wait, wrong game.
What?
Dark Souls.
No.
If Lyra bites its tail off, can it no longer use the poison stinger?
I mean, if Lyra would bite a wyvern's tail off, I would be fucking impressed.
Yeah, if
I would also be very concerned.
Yeah. As to what kind of like enhancement drugs Lyra's been taking.
okay.
No, about like
Kelariis.
chewing on wyvern tail bits, which probably contain poison.
Yeah.
That's
gonna-
fine.
Start getting over there, you know, doing what I. Oh, actually, I'm gonna move.
Actually, technically, the wyvern is venomous, not poisonous.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, that's starting to get in your system. Which admittedly it would in Lyra's case, because Lyra's biting it.
Because venomous is it bites you, you die. Poisonous is you bite it, you die.
That's fair. I'm gonna stop there this time, and I'm gonna use my lightning breath. 'cause I don't
Okay.
use that very often, so
Challenge the dragon to a shouting match.
it's not a great DC. It's a dex save.
Yep,
It's a dex save.
it is a dex save.
Not hard to beat, unfortunately, but
Ooh.
that's not bad. It's much better than I usually roll for that.
Right, hold on. We need something else for this now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Phase 3, guys.
God. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, you started shouting at dragons. You brought this on
Okay,
yourself.
Fair.
You did.
Oh,
Orbit stole, Kelariis. Before you were on the
It
dragon
fails. Yeah, you blast it with a lightning bolt and it reels backwards.
Can we give Kelariis a horned helmet now?
The
No.
Damn it.
I'm just gonna fucking magic missiles. Not sure what else I do during this fight.
hit it with a stick.
You do damage.
No, that is the worst idea.
Not
Deal big damage.
nice. Yeah, again, that's just straight up 15 damage. Like you blast the wyvern, there's very little it can do. It's sort of like being blasted with a lightning bolt, and then these magic missiles, and then Arya.
Speaking of biting off more than it can chew.
This is where you just Ruga Wagataki Wakuro like straight in its face. That is with this. No, that is with
No, advantage.
no advantage because it's advantage.
What?
But your point blanks are disadvantage, but advantage for your mark, so it's regular, but it still hits.
Ah. So much.
Okay.
So many rules.
Okay, yep, you straight up just like unleash this bolt of blinding light straight up through the roof of the wyvern's skull. And it reels backwards and hits the dirt.
Does it now start glowing?
Nice.
No, it does not.
God.
Well,
damn
it's slightly glowing anyway because it's been filled full of like magic radiant arrows, but
Quick, fire one of those arrows like near Kelariis so it looks like the soul. Except don't.
Don't,
Right.
'cause if you
I'm not gonna
if
waste
we
an
fuck
arrow.
up and it hits me.
okay.
Sorry.
So
I love how I's concerned about the arrow and not Kelariis.
I mean, I wouldn't hit Kelariis.
Yeah, I trust Arya.
yeah. So as this fight like draws to a close, you look around, taking the rest of the battlefield. Zale is sort of like as you turn to look, like Zale is just finishing a spell as a guy just like falls like partially like covered in frost from his.
Wait, they're still dealing
Right.
with those bitches? We just defeated an entire wyvern.
Yeah, like you did
That's
that
higher
in
level than us.
you did that in 2 rounds, and they had twice as many guys to deal with.
They had loads more.
That's
bandits.
fair.
But yeah, like one guy's like being downed by a beam. Like Lysatis is sort of like already like wiping her sword clean.
Lysatis.
Simone is just going around like picking up arrows, and Ilaran has got a very scrawny looking Shadarkai by the back of the neck, and is like hauling him off the ground. And that is where we will take a brief break.